Welcome to episode 9 of Thabo and Gugu Life and Business Podcast. I'm Gugu.
I'm Thabo. And in this podcast, what are we discussing today?
Ooh, interesting. 7 Airbnb myths.
Myths.
What do you say?
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about things which a lot of people who are not in the Airbnb industry, Airbnb business, they actually think this is true about Airbnbs, but it's actually not true. So talk over like 7 checkpoints, which we've got down in mind, and just have a normal discussion as we always do.
Yeah, sounds good. But before we get into that, what's an Airbnb to you?
Oh, that's a good question. I know I will always say Airbnb, but like
but
the
Airbnb is a platform, isn't it?
Yeah, Airbnb is a platform, but the business which we operate is called serviced accommodation here in the UK. Yeah, other places, for example, in America, I think they commonly use Airbnb or STR, which stands for short-term rentals. So the way this business operates is like you take your property, it can be your own property, a landlord's property, or someone else's property, and you rent out this property on a nightly rate, exactly like how hotels do it. So you'll be like a hotel. So the property we have like hotel-like amenities, but it's in a residential area. It's not like a hotel where it's got a concierge, someone like standing in there, but it's got the exact same amenities as a hotel with extra and added features, like a kitchenette where people can cook, a lounge where people can relax, living room, etc. So that's like what we call an Airbnb serviced accommodation here in the United Kingdom. And this business model can be done anywhere in the world. So you can operate this way in Africa, in Europe, in America, in Asia, any continent. There are Airbnbs there. You can actually download the Airbnb app or Booking.com app and try book anyway. You see this business model is anyway.
Oh my gosh, Thabo, you're very passionate about this, aren't you?
Yes.
Like you could go on and on and on. I asked one simple question. What's an Airbnb?
Yeah, so...
Oh, bless you.
Yeah, that's what it is. So, the first common myth, which a lot of people are always mistaken this model is...
they expect daily housekeeping.
Okay, yeah. So
we are not hotel people.
So when you book your hotel, like maybe even if you book for 10 nights in a hotel, like every morning, what do you expect? It's
optional to well, the cleaning service is there. It's part of the package, but it's optional for you to have it or not. Whereas with Airbnb, that's not the case unless it's requested.
So with Airbnb, what's the case?
With Airbnb, again, give an example of a 10-day booking. You can most likely have one clean, which is part of the standard package you would have paid for. However, if you would like a mid-stay clean, let's say after 5 days, you can request that at an additional fee.
And that fee, how much do you normally charge per clean? Yeah, in the UK. The reason being, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why after you answer that.
Well, cleaning fees vary per property size, per location. But for us, on average, we normally charge about £75 to £85 for a clean.
Yes, that's correct. I was on X. X is Twitter. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the new name of Twitter.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And I saw a picture of a listing, like someone had booked.
Yes.
And their cleaning fee was $600.
You mean dollars or pounds?
Dollars. It's in America.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you just said a listing, so I wasn't sure. I'm like,
yeah, a listing, okay. It can be anywhere.
No, I can. That's why I wanted to check the currency, whether, just to make sure on the same page.
Yeah, so a listing can be in America, can be in Honolulu.
No, I know.
Yeah.
To just checking the currency.
So their cleaning fee was $600. Yeah, so I was just assuming maybe with that, are they cleaning every single day of when the guest is staying or what? Because with Airbnbs, most Airbnbs, you just clean once after the checkout, once after the guest has left, and that's it.
Yeah. Oh wow, $600 is a lot.
Yeah, so
And that's after the stay.
well, I don't know. I just saw it in the screenshot of on X, and I was like, oh no, that's just too much.
Oh,
That's too much. So like the nightly rate was I think $180 a night, and the
if they're
cleaning was
paying
$600.
Yeah. I've seen also on YouTube some Airbnb hosts who sort of moved away from that kind of pricing, like the 600. Now they pay on an hourly rate because a standard clean shouldn't really take that long, if anything. So obviously, if you're going to be paying someone $600 and if someone comes to stay for one night, it's not going to be that dirty though, is it? So I think some Airbnb hosts have sort of become clever in that sense to make it on an hourly rate, which is also dependent, which makes more sense in a way. For example, if there's been a longer stay, obviously it's going to take longer. You just get paid by the hour. But if it's going to be a short stay and it's not that dirty, then you get what you deserve, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. So yeah, so that was, I was like, wow. So okay, I think we've answered number one. So number one is on Airbnbs, you only get it cleaned once.
Just once.
Yeah, but with the hotels, you get a clean, like yes, every morning you can request a clean.
Yep.
It's a hotel, even though probably the Airbnb would have been more expensive, right?
Well. So what's on number 2 list?
Number 2 is properties standardization.
Yes, that one again. Most hotels, especially if it's the same brand name, you'd find that I wouldn't say all, but in most cities, hotels with the same brand name are the same. However, with Airbnbs, that's usually not the case, where it's city dependent and every city has got different clientele. So making each property standard depending on location wouldn't really be appetizing for everyone, then will it? Because it also depends on the clientele.
Yeah, so that's actually a good point. So it's like, in business management, masters in business management,
Yep.
MBA. I haven't done it, but someone told me this. I haven't done an MBA, but there's a module called hotel modeling.
Okay.
So
Go
what this model does is like to keep everything standardized, everything common, because it's like hotels are in various cities and
Yes.
various countries.
Yes.
So it shouldn't be efficient for you to actually, a hotel in London will be different to a hotel in Glasgow, in Birmingham, or in America.
It's just too much work and admin, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
because they're like bigger organizations as well. So
Bigger brands.
if you are working at a larger scale, it makes sense to make everything the same.
Same, yeah. So whereas with Airbnbs, we've got a portfolio of 6 owned properties and 7 properties which we lease out from landlords. And with all those 13 properties in the portfolio, none of them are the same.
Yeah.
So-
and we're still manageable in a way to sort of, unless when it comes to obviously the tiles and stuff, that can be the same. But in terms of the design and the features, the interior, that looks different, again, based on location and clientele.
Yeah, and obviously all these 13 properties we've got in the portfolio, you were like the designer, so what is driving you to make everything different? Why didn't you copy the hotel modeling?
No, because it gets boring. I like different things, trying out new things. So again, hence why I did the interior design course. So once you learn that as well, it broadens up your mind and just... Yeah,
it makes you actually like think outside the box and brings those creativity
you
juices.
just want to keep everything exciting for everyone. So
yeah, no, that's true. Yes, that's number 2 answered.
Moving on to number 3.
So number 3 is availability, host availability. So what do a lot of people think when it comes to that?
Most people, or everyone thinks the host is going to be available all the time. Again, I think you touched on that a bit earlier, like there's no reception and stuff. So if there's no reception, it's, I guess you'd like for someone to be there in person or available with you 24/7. However, as an Airbnb guest or and host, that's not always possible. And again, giving an example of us, we're not available physically in some of the other locations where Airbnbs are, so everything is sort of automated.
Yeah. So I mean, but whereas in a hotel, when you go to a hotel, there's a concierge where you can check in, and you there's a what's this front desk.
With us, with our properties, it's all self-check-in, and again, all those self-check-in details are sent automatically like a couple of days before you check in.
Yep. So with the hotels, so the reason why I put this on the list is because not Airbnb, on Booking.com. So Booking.com actually calls any listing like a hotel. So they call like our properties or this hotel. So when other guests who have no knowledge about this is actually a service apartment, they'll be like, oh, like we've had one person from abroad who like, oh, I thought I booked a hotel. Like, is there going to be someone at the front desk? I'm like,
yeah. No, it's a bit weird because on Booking.com there's different categories. Like you can choose between apartment, hotel, a house or something like that.
So, but even if you book a house, Booking.com usually calls it the property or a hotel. So maybe when they call, they were like, oh, I don't know. I think maybe it was misinterpretation.
Probably,
but that's what,
maybe language barrier as well.
Yeah, maybe language translation, like not barrier.
Wow.
So that was number 3. Like when you spoke about our host availability. Yeah. So what's next on the list when you think about it?
Number 4, we've got security and safety standards. What have you got to say about that?
Yeah. So when it comes to security, so I mean, in most hotels there are like security guards or like people at the doors, and there are cameras, like cameras in the lifts, cameras in the front desk. Obviously, there's no cameras in the rooms. There shouldn't be any
that's
cameras
invading privacy.
in the rooms, because that's invading people's privacy. But when it comes to Airbnbs, a lot of Airbnb owners or Airbnb hosts, they put cameras outside the properties, especially if you've got a drive or you can put a Ring doorbell, which has got a camera and a recording thing. But so it's more like for security to see who's coming in your property, or even if like there's something which happens that can record and shows you. But the Ring doorbell doesn't cover all angles. It just covers like the doorway, so other people actually...
And a certain range, isn't it?
Certain range, they can actually put cameras to protect the house, like from the outside, front and back, which is allowed, but you just have to declare in your listing, this is what we've got.
Yeah, I've got a question with you on that.
Yep.
Obviously, when we started this Airbnb, what were your thoughts on having that? Were you scared, or did you just like, oh, you need to have one, others have it, I'm gonna go for it?
Scared of putting a camera.
Yeah. What did you think the guests were gonna think? Like, I just want to understand the thoughts of you having one when you started.
No, I think when we started, like my perception was, if the guest thinks there's a camera outside, they'll automatically think there's a camera inside, whereas we didn't have cameras inside.
No.
So that was like my thought process. But because it's Ring doors, which we've got, so I mean, guests will be like, they're fine with it,
Well, not all of them. Well, for me to answer that question that I've just asked you, I was a bit scared first to put Ring doorbells outside the door, because I thought it's going to turn guests away and people are not going to book our listings. But I guess with more knowledge and education, I learned that having one, if a guest is going to not want to book your property, then there's a problem with them, is there? Because if it's there for security reasons, if anything were to happen, at least there's evidence, there's footage. Again, it's not in the property, it's outside the property. So why are you scared of knowing that, or you don't want to book your property which has got a Ring doorbell outside?
Yeah. So, I mean, we've had guests who've asked the question, or is there a camera?
Yeah.
Then we say, yes, there's a Ring door. I mean, is a Ring door? Yeah, a Ring door has got a camera.
Because you're seeing their face, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's a camera.
When we say we've got a Ring doorbell, they don't book. Yeah, they shy away. So
which
we're like,
means
okay.
For me, it's a red flag.
Yeah. Red flag, yeah, very big red flag.
Yeah, because if you can go into a hotel which has got a camera outside, why can't you book an Airbnb with one?
Yeah, nah, that's true. Then I think that was number four, right?
Yes.
So number 5 would be like, what's number 5, man?
Hotel amenities, but I think you've touched on that a bit at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
When you went on and on and on. When I asked you what's your definition of an Airbnb.
Yeah, so
But you can briefly now summarize it.
yeah, so on number 5, it's Airbnbs have got hotel like amenities, like so a hotel will know. I mean, are there hotels with like kitchens, like where you can actually cook? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Maybe you can actually microwave something in a, they can have a kitchenette or something. I don't know. I've never been into
them type.
those presidential suites or.
One day.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe in those ones you can have like a little kitchenette, but with Airbnbs, it's like it's just like your house. Just imagine like home or far away from home. That's the tagline which we like to use, and so it's got everything which is like you would expect to have at home. You know, some of them you've even got like 2-3 bathrooms. You know, all the added extras. You know, so there is a lot of space. Whereas a hotel, it can be 9 by 9 or whatever, 16 by 16 meter room, you know, which is like...
There's only so much space. But I think to add on to the hotel amenities, like what people would expect, again, which is a myth for Airbnb, is a spa, a gym, a swimming pool.
Yeah.
So that's not like... I'm not saying it's not possible to have one. You can have one, but again, that's country location dependent as well, and the property type.
Yes.
So
I mean, so
whereas a hotel would have that.
So most like it's probably like a swimming pool. That's a standard in hot countries.
Yes.
So when we went to Cape Town, our Airbnb had a swimming pool.
It had to have a pool. Well, we had to choose it. So a pool had to be a must.
Yeah. When we went to America that time, the Airbnb had a swimming pool as well.
Pool, yeah.
So that's probably like, as you said, location dependent.
Yes.
Yeah. So another thing is, I mean, spas, people like put, what's this, those things?
The jacuzzi.
Yeah, jacuzzis.
Yeah, again, hot countries can benefit from that as well. That's a good thing to have if you're in that type of country.
Yeah. Then what's next on the list? Number 6 is price advantage.
Before we move on to that, I just remembered.
Yeah.
One of the Airbnbs we booked, well, it's listed as a jacuzzi, but the jacuzzi wasn't working. What have you got to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, like
people shouldn't do that.
Yeah, so it's when you list something on Airbnb, you should just be truthful. So if something, maybe when they listed that it was working, you know, so after some time it stopped working. But you need to always revise your listings, because we didn't like ask for a refund or etc, but we just advise them like to say, look, this is what this
false
is not
advertising.
False advertising, you know, because if you list something, it should be there. Like all the services which you list, they should actually be there.
Yeah, that's
otherwise
true.
Guests can request their money back. Yeah. So before we proceed, I just want to tell you about the services we offer. So we offer 2 services. I will explain on one, and Gugu will explain on the other one. So we offer Airbnb coaching. So we've got a group called Airbnb Mastery Blueprint, and a 10-day Airbnb crash course. So if you want to start in this Airbnb business, you can join this group, and everything you need to join the group is in the description below. The other businesses is
Love Your Stays Limited, and this is our Airbnb business, where we host guests, and additionally, if anyone's interested in joint venturing, we welcome you.
Yeah. So everything about this, it's in the descriptions below.
Yep.
So let's carry on the conversation. I think we spoke about number 5.
Yes.
We're number 6 now.
Price advantage.
Oh wow.
Price compared to your hotel in this case.
Okay. For me, it's simple.
Are Airbnbs cheap?
Yes. Depending on how many guests are you booking for. So what I've noticed, like from research and from actually operating this Airbnb business. If you booking for one person, like actually one person, 9 times out of 10, our hotels work out cheaper unless you want to book your Airbnb like in a house, but you're just booking a room. So it should be someone's house, but you're just booking a room.
Yeah, other people rent out their rooms, don't they?
Yeah, other people rent out rooms on Airbnb. So if you're actually booking that, that's cheaper. But if you're booking for one person, like a hotel, or even up to 2 people, hotels are usually cheaper.
Also, yeah, depending on the number of nights. If it's just one night, I think hotel would be ideal.
Yeah, hotel would be ideal because whereas if you're booking for one person in Airbnb, especially our Airbnbs, first of all, we don't take one night.
Yes.
So minimum stay is 2 nights.
2 nights, yes.
Yeah, and obviously all these, like, there is a nightly charge and there is a cleaning fee. So it becomes expensive for what? For just a small group. So mainly, Airbnb are attractive to 2+ for people who are coming more than 2.
Yes.
And who are staying longer because you can get a 2-bedroom property. If it's a 2-bedroom property, that means it can easily sleep about 4 people.
4 people, yes.
Or even other people push it to 5 or 6 with a sofa bed. But I'm just talking like,
yeah, but not everyone
comfortable.
likes a sofa bed. Yeah.
Yeah. So when it comes to prices, I mean, it's a matter of like comparing because you can get like very, very expensive hotels as well, like which have got like 5 stars, etc. But you can get like 5-star Airbnbs as well. So
yeah, it's just more research, and like hotels as well, things are seasonal, so it's not like Airbnb is always on the high end in terms of pricing. So like a hotel, depending on the season and time of year, prices do go down as well. So I guess it's just a research game, isn't it?
Yeah, but the common myth, people just assume an Airbnb has to be cheaper. Because it's not a hotel.
It's not a hotel. It doesn't have to be cheap because a lot of work, time, and finance goes into it to get it up to a certain standard. So the price has to match that as well.
Yeah, and well, personally, I think there are more benefits of staying in an Airbnb than in a hotel.
Yeah, you've got more room. You're not just stuck in one room, and you've got like a lounge, a kitchen, a bedroom, like all the different rooms.
Different rooms, different layouts.
You can move around.
Than actually being like in a box, like a room.
Just being confined into one room.
Space, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, both things. I mean, the hotels will always be here. Airbnbs will always be here as well. Because it's like...
It's all about providing the right service, isn't it?
Yeah, because it caters for different people.
And so I think, from a price advantage, it's just, no... Airbnbs are not meant to be cheap as people would expect it to be, but they can be depending on the time of year.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes people like, on Airbnb inquiries, they'll send an inquiry and say, oh, I've got this much. You're like, mate, nah.
I know. That is so funny.
Yeah, so...
can I, like, we got one recently from booking.com, or can you not take money recently? I'm only getting paid on such and such a day. I'm like, we don't handle payments from booking.com.
So, people like, when it comes to Airbnb, they think they can haggle the price, the hassle. I mean, you're never going to like a hotel front desk and say, oh, by the way, I've got £20, can I stay? Unless you go to a hostel, mate.
Yeah, but again, depending on the length of booking, we do offer discounts, whether it's a weekly booking or if you're booking probably up to 30 days in advance before you check in. So it's not like, people are just going to charge whatever they do. We do consider discounts, and obviously we're trying to attract people and make it a bit more affordable in a way. So it's not just about charging high prices, but looking at different pricing strategies just to keep the model working.
Yeah, no, that's very true. That's very true.
Yeah. So sorry, were you going to say something?
No, I was going to say last but not least.
I was going to say that.
Okay, say it.
Or did you not hear me saying that? Regulation and compliance.
Yes, okay. So yes, hotels need to be regulated, compliant. Even Airbnbs are regulated. So, I mean, it just depends on where you operate, which city, which country you're in, etc. So in Scotland, where we actually reside and also operate in Scotland, you now need a short-term license to operate this business. Whereas in England, that's not the case
I think
yet.
it's still in talks, isn't it?
Yeah,
but there's nothing
There's nothing solid.
But I think regardless of that, within your own property, if you are running one, you still have to have the right measures in place because you're providing a service, so it needs to be safe space, isn't it?
Yeah, safe space, like for example, like fire doors, or all this, like how you let out, even if you're letting out your property for a long term to a long-term tenant, you need fire doors, you need to do your gas certificates, you need to do your electrical certificates, all these
carbon monoxide, an alarm,
all those alarms, so it's like people just think like
you can't just cut corners because you're still providing a service to someone else.
Yeah, so it has to be compliant, it has to be like a safe space for someone to live in, and you need to actually have the insurances, you need to have in place, all the insurances need to be in place. So it was a good topic.
Hopefully that was helpful and to address some of the myths that people think what an Airbnb is. So I think we could cover. There's still a lot more, but I think for now that's
we just leave it there. So if you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, and subscribe. And in the comment section as well, just tell us what else you want to see more of from Thabo and Gugu.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Cheers.